These are the focus tonight. Late Puan Sri Dato Amar Juma'ani laid to rest. Sarawak Governor and wife pay last respects to Sarawak Premier's wife. Passing of Puan Sri Dato Amar Juma'ani, a great loss to state and nation. Good evening. The remains of the late Puan Sri Dato Amar Jumani Tun Tuan Kubujang were laid to rest at Tanah Perkuburan Islam Semayang here at approximately 2:37 p.m. on Monday. A somber atmosphere filled the cemetery grounds as mourners gathered to pay their final respects before the late Puan Sri Dato Amar Jumani was buried. The funeral procession arrived at the cemetery at around 1:24 p.m. accompanied by Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Tan Sri Dr. Abang Abdul Rahman Zohari Tun Datuk Abang Openg and close family members. Sarawak Grand Imam Datuk Mustafa Kamal Ahmad Fauzi led the recitation of Talqin prayers and Al-Quran verses along with other attendees. The atmosphere was filled with sorrow as Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari, family members and dignitaries sprinkled rose water over the late Puan Sri Dato Amar Jumani grave before departing the burial grounds. The late Puan Sri Dato Amar Jumani passed away at 3:34 a.m. on Monday at Norma Medical Center, Kuching, at the age of 76. Earlier, Sarawak Governor Tun Pein Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi Tuanku Jaafar and his wife, Toh Puan Datuk Patinggi Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi, paid their last respects to the late Puan Sri Dato Amar Jumani at Masjid Jamek Petrajaya. Their arrival at around 12:50 p.m. was met with an atmosphere of sorrow and solemnity as they were received by family members and dignitaries present. Others present included close acquaintances, local leaders, civil servants, and people from various ethnic backgrounds, many of whom began arriving as early as 9 a.m. upon hearing the sad news despite the official tribute session only beginning at 10 a.m. The remains of the late Puan Sri Dato Amar Jumani arrived at Masjid Jamek at around 10:13 a.m., accompanied by the Sarawak Premier and family members, before being placed in the main area for the public to pay their final respects until 12 noon. The late Puan Sri Dato Amar Jumani was a respected figure and president of Sarawak Badan Amal Tenaga Isteri or Sabati. Throughout her life, she was active in various welfare, education, and development activities for women and youth. Her passing is described as a great loss to Sarawak, especially to those who directly or indirectly benefited from her charitable efforts. Meanwhile, Deputy Prime Minister Datuk Patinggi Dr. Ahmad Zahid Hamidi described the passing of Puan Sri Dato Amar Jumani as a great loss to both the state and nation, particularly in the areas of welfare and women empowerment in Sarawak. He expressed his admiration for her character, known as a gentle and compassionate woman who was actively involved in community service. According to him, the late Puan Sri Dato Amar Jumani was not merely the wife of a leader, but a loyal companion who served as a pillar of strength throughout the Sarawak's Premier's political journey. He added that her contributions to society, especially in empowering women and communities, were significant and will long be remembered. Datuk Patinggi Dr. Ahmad Zahid expressed this during his visit to the Sarawak's Premier's official residence in Kuching on Monday morning to personally convey his condolences. The federal government's decision to channel substantial allocations and fulfill several demands under the Malaysia Agreement 1963 MA63 for Sarawak is not the result of pressure or threats, but rather stems from the principles of justice and the responsibility of fair governance for all Malaysians. Prime Minister Datuk Sri Anwar Ibrahim dismissed claims emerging from Peninsular Malaysia, alleging that he had been forced or threatened into giving Sarawak preferential treatment in order to maintain his position.
Orang-orang ini dia bicara tanpa melihat kepada fakta dan menyebabkan keresahan terus berlaku.
He said this during the 2025 Sarawak Level Gawai Dayak Celebration dinner held at Borneo Convention Center Kuching, BCCK on Sunday. Also present to grace the event was Sarawak Governor Tun Bin Sri Dr. Wan Junaidi and his wife, Puan Datuk Patinggi Fauziah Muhammad Sanusi, along with Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari. Further elaborating, Datuk Sri Anwar emphasized that negotiations are never easy, but if one upholds the principle that every region must progress and no area, whether urban, suburban, rural, or remote, should be left behind, then such a spirit must be embraced regardless of race or state. He also expressed that it is inappropriate for any party to attack the Sarawak leadership as though the state government is not firm in defending the rights of its people. On the contrary, he acknowledged that Sarawak leaders have been firm and vocal in voicing the aspirations of Sarawakians. Meanwhile, the Prime Minister expressed his full support for the Sarawak government's aspiration to become a key player and major hub for the ASEAN Power Grid Initiative. According to Datuk Sri Anwar, the ASEAN Power Grid Initiative is currently a central strategy and priority for ASEAN in enhancing regional integration and competitiveness.
Jadi tak ada salah kalau di bawah pimpinan Premier Abang Jo dan kekuatan Sarawak, kita bangunkan Sarawak sebagai gergasi dan hub tenaga utama di rantau kita yang akan membanggakan rakyat Sarawak dan Malaysia keseluruhannya. Dengan kekuatan hidro, gas, blue hydrogen untuk menerobos bukan sahaja dari Sarawak ke Sabah ke Kalimantan Indonesia sehingga ke selatan Filipina.
In advancing this aspiration, Datuk Sri Anwar emphasized the need to accelerate key strategic projects, particularly the development of undersea power cable connecting Peninsular Malaysia to Singapore and Batam. Additionally, when commenting on his upcoming visit to Indonesia this Friday to meet with its president, Prabowo Subianto, the Prime Minister revealed that one of the main topics of discussion will be the ASEAN Power Grid, with the Sarawak serving as the hub. Earlier in his speech, Sarawak Premier Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari described the federal government's approach, founded on the spirit of federalism and togetherness, as crucial in resolving various development issues between the federal government and the Sarawak government. He described the spirit of close cooperation as having succeeded in strengthening bilateral relations between the two parties and has become an important foundation in implementing large-scale initiatives that have a direct impact on the development of the state and the country.
Yang amat berhormat, saya juga mengucap terima kasih kerana dalam semangat federalisme, semangat hormat menghormati, semangat kekeluargaan, banyak isu kita telah selesai. Saya mengucap terima kasih on our joint declaration. Dengan isu-isu yang boleh mengangkatkan, membangunkan ekonomi negeri dan juga negara. Seperti mana saya katakan, kalau Sarawak maju, Malaysia pun maju. Dan inilah semangat kita dalam kita untuk menghadapi keadaan ekonomi yang tidak menentu, termasuklah keadaan political tension yang dihadapi oleh dunia pada hari ini.
Meanwhile, Datuk Patinggi Abang Zohari said Sarawak will play a leading role as a key hub in the ASEAN Power Grid Initiative, aimed at strengthening the region's energy network while boosting Malaysia's position in the energy sector. According to him, Sarawak's selection as the host for the ASEAN Senior Officials Meeting on Energy reflects the region's confidence in Sarawak's capability. And that's the English edition with me, Nicholas Zechariah Boni. More news can be found in our official portal, ukas.sarawak.gov.my, and social media platforms, including Facebook and YouTube. Before concluding the bulletin, we at UCAS would like to extend our deepest condolences to the Sarawak Premier on the passing of the late Puan Sri Dato Amar Juma'ani Tun Tuanku Bujang. May her soul be blessed and granted eternal peace. Hashtag Salran Informasi Rakyat. Have a good night.